my gosh, if I had to sit there and cut that open in front of all those people, I'd be dropping the scissors, cutting my own self. Props to you, ma'am, for doing that. Oh my gosh.
What is contained within States B?
The wooden baseball bat.
And is that bat in the same or substantially the same condition as it was at the time that you collected it on February 24, 2020?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time I'd like to move what's previously been marked for identification as States B into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
What was pre-marked as B will be received into evidence as States 10 without objection.
Your Honor, request permission to publish.
You may.
Wow. She's like, okay, I got it out, now what? Now we're just going to put it all back in after I worked on getting it out. Wow. I have to say, the prosecution has done a great job of laying this out and adding pieces to this puzzle.
You also had an occasion to collect the suitcase
Oh, Lord.
as well. In this
That
case.
is in that box,
Yes, I
isn't
did.
it? Oh, Lordy.
Prior to placing the suitcase into evidence, did you process it?
I took measurements of the suitcase.
What are the measurements of the suitcase?
It was 28 inches in length, 20 inches wide, and 8 7/8 inches deep.
Oh, my goodness.
Your Honor, this time today, the witness stepped down from the stand and approached the clerk's area.
Yes.
So they've unveiled the weapons, the bat and the suitcase. And I have actually
Ma'am, I'm
chills
showing you
thinking about
what's
this
been
suitcase.
marked for identification
and the
as
horrible
States
horrible
A.
thing that went inside.
Tell me, do
Happened
you
in there.
recognize this item? Tell us, what is this item?
It's a box.
This is the suitcase I collected from the living room.
And how is it that you know that this is a suitcase you collected from the living room?
It has the Orange County Sheriff's Office evidence label.
Yeah, you better start scribbling, Sarah.
Description. It also contains my name and the agency case number, and my initials are also on the evidence sheet.
Well, she really does have some
Ma'am, at this
foundation
time,
on her.
could
You can see the
open
lines.
States A and look at the contents of it to yourself.
Yes.
She just passed a note to Mr. Owens. Lord have mercy. Oh, now he's going to pass the note back. Yep, she's running the show, isn't she?
What is inside of States A?
This is the suitcase I collected from the living room.
And does it appear to be the same or substantially the same condition as the time that you collected it and placed it into evidence?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I'd like to move what's been marked for identification as States A into evidence.
Any objections?
No objection.
What was pre-marked as A will be received into evidence without objection as States 11.
Maybe they could volunteer
Your Honor, at
Sarah.
this time I'd ask for permission to publish States A to the jury.
You may.
Oh gosh, this is so, I don't know why, this is really disturbing. That is horrible. Okay, volunteers.
Inside of it.
Sarah, demonstrate how George got in there. Let's volunteer. Sarah, come on. Looks like it's a little tough to unzip. Oh my gosh, that is so horrible. I would love to see the jurors' faces. Oh, you know what? If you go on Surviving the Survivor, Joel will tell you, I'm sure, how the jurors looked when they saw the suitcase. I think even Judge Kranick is going, damn.
How easy is it to operate the zipper that closes the suitcase?
It was a little difficult.
I have no additional questions at this time.
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you also referred to as a medical examiner investigator as opposed to just crime scene investigator?
Oh, who's
No,
the new?
that is not my title.
Do you do reports that the medical examiner necessarily relies upon in the process of doing the autopsy and additional investigations?
You would have to ask them.
Who makes the decision at the scene as to what items will be photographed and what items will be taken into custody, what items will necessarily be tested or analyzed?
That's a collaborative effort between the crime scene investigator and the lead detective while on scene.
That would be yourself, and who was the lead detective?
The lead detective was Chelsea Kepsel.
Now, you
Oh, now I've heard her name
authored a
said.
report in this matter, did you
Pronounced
not?
as Kepsel.
Yes,
And that report
Sorry, guys.
was utilized, if you in fact know, by the medical examiner in developing her autopsy report, was it not?
I do not know.
In your report, did you advise the medical, or whomever might read your report, that in fact the body had been removed from the suitcase by first offenders or first responders?
No, I don't believe so.
And we know that you have the capacity to do DNA analysis, correct?
No, we process DNA or collect swabs for DNA, and then that's submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for conventional DNA analysis.
You did that with a sample from the inside of Sarah Boone's mouth.
Her buccal swabs were submitted to the FDLE.
And who made that decision?
The detective and I.
Who made the decision not to bother to do a DNA analysis on the blood from the items within the suitcase or the suitcase itself?
That was a discussion between the detective and I.
And you chose not to do that.
No, we did not.
You assumed that the blood inside the suitcase belonged to George Torres, correct?
There was blood observed in the suitcase.
But you don't know who that belonged to because you didn't bother to analyze it or have it analyzed, correct?
The blood was not tested.
Now, State's Exhibit B, at the back, you took that into evidence. Was that again a collaborative decision by yourself and the lead detective?
Yes.
And What efforts did you make to have the bat analyzed, given the fact that it was apparently evidence?
It was just collected as evidence from the scene.
Did you advise either the lead detective or anybody else involved with this investigation that there may be matters that could be analyzed when analyzing the bat that would help or assist in the investigation of this matter?
It's my job to do the documentation and the collection of evidence.
Well, you said it was a collaborative effort between yourself and the lead detective, so did you participate in that decision?
We chose to collect the bat and put it into evidence.
And so there was a fiber analysis done on the bat to determine whether or not it was used to strike George Torres when he was in the suitcase, was there not?
Pardon?
In fact, there was not, was it? There was no effort to analyze.
She didn't hear. Repeat your question.
Jack, I don't believe the witness had an opportunity to answer the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Sustained.
I'm sorry. Please,
Can you repeat the question?
if I can remember it, I will. Do you know
Yeah,
that
you
there
didn't
was
let her
any
answer,
effort
dude.
made in this particular investigation, the investigation of Sarah Boone, to analyze the bat for fibers?
No, there was not.
And why was that not done?
It was not done.
You indicated that you had some interaction with Ms. Boone, is that correct?
I collected her buccal swabs.
Did you speak with her?
In collecting her buccal swabs, yes.
Did you speak to any other witnesses?
No.
Did you make any determination of other matters that might be of import or evidentiary value when you were going through the house and taking photographs and documenting the interior of the townhouse?
You'll have to be more specific.
Well, how many pictures of the child's bedroom did we see?
Here today,
Yes, ma'am.
we saw the entrance to the bedroom as well as a photograph of the interior of the bedroom.
What was the evidentiary value of that?
It's my job to photograph and document while on scene, so the rooms in the upstairs were photographed and documented.
Did you photograph holes in the wall, possibly made by the victim?
I don't recall photographing holes in the wall, no.
Did you take photographs of items within the house or throughout the house that may have depicted incidents of prior violence?
You'll have to be more specific.
How about bloody pillowcases? Did you make any effort to
What? I don't like his
collect
tone,
and
honestly.
analyze
That's just me,
pillowcases
though.
of the rooms that you were photographing?
No.
I think George made it up to bed.
You have significant experience with zippers.
I use zippers regularly, yes.
Enough to have an opinion as to whether or not a zipper is stuck or not.
Is what? Sorry?
You testified on direct that the zipper was a little tight.
Difficult.
Just that it was difficult without the zipper pulls to use the zipper.
And that was your opinion.
Yes, from opening the suitcase.
Why don't you try it, sir?
Today, you only tested it today?
Pardon?
You only today have for the first time tested the ability to pull open the zipper on the suitcase?
No, I'm saying it was difficult today.
A redirect examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't like his tone.
In this case, you documented the entirety of the house as you saw it.
Yes.
So every room in the house,
They were all taken overall photographs.
walls in the house.
In the overall photographs, yes. They weren't all individually photographed, no.
And you did not document or note any type of holes in the wall or any type of damage to the walls, anything like that.
Not the walls, no.
Is that something that would have been documented both photographically and also within your report?
Yes.
You also, as we've previously seen in the composite, saw the victim where he was laying in this case, correct?
Yes.
Was the victim, did he have blood on his mouth and on his face?
Yes, he did.
Did he have open wounds on his body?
There was blood coming from his nose and his mouth. There was also some other areas, like defects noted on his body.
You also made contact with the defendant, too, as well.
Yes.
Did you know any other wounds or cuts or anything else that was not documented that you haven't testified to?
No.
So, no wounds, nothing on her?
Not that I recall, no.
No further questions?
There you go. Good job. Good job after that.
Thank you. Can this witness be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thrones, can this witness be released?
Judge, we'd like her to be on call.
Subject to recall, ma'am. Thank you.
Didn't have anything on you, did you, Sarah?
Can the parties approach?
Oh, she's looking kind of smug and smirky again. I wonder why.
Members of the jury, thank you so much for your attention in this matter. It is 4:52. At this time, we're going to go ahead and take our recess for the evening. Madam Clerk has letters that I have signed regarding your jury service for you to provide to your employer. Court deputy will provide them to you in the deliberation room before you are released for the day. I have a similar instruction to read to you that I gave you before the lunch hour. Jurors, you must not conduct any investigation on your own. This includes reading newspapers, watching television, or using a computer, cell phone, the internet, any electronic device, or any other means at all to get information related to this case or the people and places involved in this case. This applies whether you are in the courthouse, at home, or anywhere else. You must not visit places mentioned in the trial or use the internet to look at maps or pictures to see any place discussed during the trial. Jurors, do not watch local news or read local newspapers. Jurors must not have discussions of any sort with friends, family members, or even your fellow jurors about the case or the people and places involved. So do not let anyone make comments to you or ask questions about the trial. I want to stress again that just as you must not talk about this case face-to-face, you must not talk about this case by using an electronic device. You must not use phones, computers, or other electronic devices to communicate. Do not send or accept any messages related to this case or your jury service. Do not discuss this case or ask for advice by any means at all, including posting information on an internet website, chat room, or blog. With that, members of the jury, I'm going to release you back to the deliberation room for you to receive the paperwork for your employer, and we will see you at 9 a.m. this coming Monday, October 21st. And I thank you for your sacrifice and your service.
Oh. And he's like, oh, okay. He's probably saying, thank you. Thank you, DAs, for making it a smooth transition through the questioning of witnesses.
You all may be seated. Thank you. State, anything else we need to discuss?
Not from the state.
Defense. All right, thank you all very much. We will see you at 9 a.m. Monday, October 21. We're off the record.
All right. A long day for everyone. That poor, is it a deputy, whomever, has to deal with her every damn day. I bet she would have a good book to write about this. Her experiences with Sarah. Okay, get her pink handcuffs ready. Was that a picture? Is that Billy Lane? She acts like she's at a church social or something. Just chit-chat, chatting it up. She is, she sickens me. Look at her. She says, I'm telling you to get this done and that done and sneak me a Pop-Tart. 5 peppermints. Get the cuffs on her. Get the pink cuffs on her. Look at her telling everybody, you know, she looks like she is like the lead attorney. My gosh. I wonder if the, look at her. Oh, look at her. She's trying to be, did you see that? She's telling her, wait a minute. And the lady's going, come on. Oh, wait a minute. She was being defiant. She looks like she's being defiant. Get her. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? I feel like the lady was, did you see that she was motioning her hand? You know what? I still maintain that she is socially immature. I mean, there's these paintings and puzzles and hide and seek. It's such a, it's very middle schoolish. And she really behaves like a middle schooler. But that woman is saying, good Lord. Look at her. Oh, she. See, it's sometimes good to wait and watch this stuff. That is bonkers. I thought ending with the suitcase was a good strategy for the prosecution. It kind of gives the jurors something to think about over the weekend. And I am surprised actually how small it is. Even as tiny as George was. If you had watched my prior videos, I kept seeing that box up there. And it was really getting on my nerves because prior, as I had said, opening statements were delayed due to Mr. Owens, and he had all these demonstrative aids he was going to use, and that's a whole other story. I'll cover a little bit of that because it's so interesting, because Mr. J is just so done with him, as was Judge Cranick. And I kept seeing that box and thinking, I thought it was something Mr. Owens had left there. And I'm like going, that box is distracting me. Why didn't he move it out of the way? It makes the courtroom look messy. Of course, unbeknownst to me, everybody, you all, and everyone probably figured out way before me that it was because the suitcase was in there. Bless my heart. I didn't figure it out towards the end. But, hey, what do you got to... I just got to be me. But, hey, I finally figured it out. I'm going, oh, my gosh. And I will be honest, it was triggering for me. And maybe it was for some of you all, too. That's why I made sure to... excuse me. I'm so sorry. I apologize if I have to clear my throat at times. I'm switching allergy medications. I'm trying to get it right. I do apologize for that. But it was very, I think I even said it, surreal for me to see that and think about the fact that George expired from positional asphyxiation, which is, because he's all crunched up, it's like you're bent over. So that's even going to make your breathing more difficult. I'm going to stop that for a minute. So that Suitcase, I guess I just want to put it in perspective because I started thinking about it after they showed it. The measurements of the Suitcase are, it's 28 inches long, 20 inches wide, and 8 7/8 inches deep. So I started thinking about that. And both my son and daughter are grown, but they are big babies. I am not a tiny person. We are tall and all that stuff. And I'm around 5'10", but my son is 6'3", and my daughter is nearly 6 feet. So we're tall Floridians. Maybe it was the oranges. My dad was a citrus grower. Of course, the citrus has dwindled, but of course I digress due to my ADD. But, that probably helped us be healthy and tall and all that good stuff. But so, and granted, my babies were rather large at their birth weight, but my daughter, see, I'm thinking about it. So it's 28 inches long. Okay, so my daughter, when she was born, yes, she weighed 11 pounds. Big baby. Of course, they've gotten bigger since then. I've heard of bigger ones. So back when I had her, she was definitely the biggest one. Everybody's going. It was almost like she was on display at the circus or something. You could hear people saying, my family would say, look at the big baby down there. And I'm like going, that's my baby. And anyhow, she's tall and beautiful and slim and all that good stuff. But anyhow, she's 11 pounds, 1 ounce, and she was 23 inches long. And yes, George was tiny, 5'2", maybe 5'3", 103 pounds, which still just baffles me. So think about it. And that's a newborn baby. So we're talking about, even though he was tiny, that is not long. 20 inches wide, that is not wide. And the depth, oh my gosh, that's just, that, I don't know, that really put it more in perspective for me, seeing that. And I'm just like, I'm even thinking the attorneys are like, oh my goodness. And Sarah's just riding along. I do think it made her anxious, but, I do not think that she felt any emotion about it. It was just more about, oh no, this is going to look bad for me. Because that's what it's all about. I still believe that. But I just had to share that perspective with you. Oh my goodness. And the depth of it. And I was annoyed that that poor man had to suffer his last moments having all those articles in there. I know that's crazy, but look at that. The depth. What? That's why I'm so angry about Sarah. Because we have our opinions. We do. I do. But I'm just like, what? Look at Judge Kranick, I think. And Judge Kranick's, I think he had mentioned earlier, I don't know if y'all noticed, but those people back behind him are students of his. And so, what a case. I bet he said, okay, guys, I've got a case for you that you need to. How cool. I bet he's an awesome teacher. But so now I want to get into this lady here. I loved her. She, Melissa Roughgarden. I liked that she just had a very calm demeanor. She really had it together. She had her stuff, all wrapped up. Now, I know you have to really wrap it well and everything, but I would have been a wreck, like I think I saw in the video, trying to open it all up. But she did such a great job in just explaining things. And I'm pretty sure she probably just has to photograph the whole inside of the house. And And actually, I pop around to a lot of streams. So I do that because I like to hear what other people have to say. I love hearing other people's perspective. And then I, of course, watch the regular one. That's why, even though I'm really not any, what am I trying to say? Not to down myself. I don't mean it that way because I don't mean it that way, but I don't have a lot of technology and the people who can work and do this at the same time, I really admire. But hey, I do what I can anyhow. So, but I do like to take the time to really study it. And there's certainly some things I've learned, but what my point was, one of my favorite places to go is Emily D. Baker because she can explain it, but she's so funny too. And she was talking about how this young lady was a gem, the way she had it packaged, everything was labeled correctly, and so she may be kind of a rare thing. So I guess Orange County should be blessed to have her. But so they revealed the suitcase. And I guess the reason why I'm kind of what I want to do is recap, but I'm starting from the end since we still have this fresh on our mind with Miss Melissa or Miss Roughgarden. Because I kind of don't want the ending to be just thinking about the suitcase, because like I said, it really did bother me, and it's sometimes I have to step away, but it's so important for me to see justice for George. And also it's just, I guess we're all kind of students, aren't we? Just like Judge Kranick's students. I want to learn, and I'm trying to figure out how can she do this? We will never understand that because, none of us, I'm sure, think like she does. But so it's interesting. So she got the 2 big wine bottles. They're not little. So when she said we had a bottle of wine, it was, this makes it look worse. We know it wasn't one, but that's what she says to the police, doesn't she, in the interrogation? She got the 2 big bottles, you got the 3 receipts, and then the baseball bat. Okay, I really thought that when they were talking about his fingers, her hitting his fingers, I figured that was just made up because I thought it was probably zipped up all the way, but I guess his fingers were out because they show injuries. But as you see, it was very hard for her to unzip that suitcase from the outside. Now, I will say, to be fair, of course, this is a little different scenario. Here I am with my scenarios that don't quite match up, but she had gloves on, and that would make it a little bit harder to grab. I'm just trying to think of everything possible. So at school, our little guys, because they're young, they're kindergarten age. Some are a little bit older, but they're some of them have severe autism, some don't, but some of them wear diapers. So it's I change their diapers. Well, of course I have gloves on, but it is difficult. Like if I take their shoes off or whatever, if I'm trying to tie their shoe, it is a little more difficult. But I still think if the zipper had something on it rather than that little piece of wire or paper clips, like Sarah said, even without the gloves, it would be difficult. So that to me was very telling. And the bat, I remember from the beginning, I think I'd said and I've still got to hopefully I'll have my playlist all in order. So if you all haven't seen some of the prior things, you'll see that. But I forget, because I've been doing these videos and clips kind of breaking up day one. And so I don't even think, because this is kind of like a continuation, so hopefully you've seen the other videos. I do have them listed as part 1, part 2, part 3, all that good stuff. But I am not a with an opinion, has a fascination with true crime, but most importantly, finding justice for people who, especially those like George Torres, who suffered such a horrific ending. But there were some thoughts I had afterwards. Number one, Sarah's apartment, her townhouse, she kept it very neat and tidy. Everything looked nice plans, all that kind of stuff. I am not surprised. I know some people probably said, I think I heard somebody was saying, I forget where, they were surprised, but I'm not, because whereas her mind is chaotic, she has to be in control of everything. So you better believe that her place is going to be tidy. But with that, it made me think about a few other things too. Let me see if we can get to it. Let me see if it's going to be the picture I'm looking at. I might have to switch. But they'll come to it, I think. But so remember the roommates and the next door neighbors of Sarah, who lived in a one-story apartment, and the one's bedroom was right by the staircase, and see, everything's all nice and tidy there. There we go, the staircase. So on the other side of the wall is the one roommate, and it sounded like something. I mean, we all have to think at this point. I mean, wouldn't you all that Sarah like pushed or kicked the suitcase down? But then I don't know. What do y'all think? There's not a lot of space there. I mean, she would have had to really and then did she do the bat before or after? I mean, to me, when he was in there going, Sarah, Sarah, now he's sitting there gasping for every last air of his life, but it's hard to not see, but it didn't sound like, if he was really injured that much, maybe, I don't know. It seems like he would have also been in pain. So did she hit him before or after? I'm thinking with a fall like that, would he still be able to talk? Do you all know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think, because that part really puzzles me about this whole thing. I mean, it sounds like he must have, but then she must have pushed it down the stairs. But then, like I said, she would have had to push it over, and then the whole bat thing. I mean, would he have even been conscious after going down the stairs like that? That seems pretty bad. And it's not a very thick suitcase. That's just my thought and question. So let me all know what you think. But then there was something else I was thinking about. I'll move it if it doesn't go to where I think. What I also noticed, okay, so she said, we know obviously she was just sitting there in the living room when she was slurring and going, for all you done to me and make me, this is how I feel when you cheat on me, this is how I feel when you choke me. I think you better shut the F up, and that's my name, don't wear it out, all that drunken slobbery stuff. I always wondered, did she really go upstairs and go to bed? I mean, she could have. Or did she just pass out downstairs and said she went upstairs? Or maybe she passed out downstairs and woke up. But the reason why I ask, well, let's go ahead and look at that suitcase again, because I think they're going to show the zippers. Oh, I think I saw some of the artwork. Oh, bless their little hearts. I'm so sorry that George had to endure artwork and puzzles in his final hours of life. See, look at that zipper. There really isn't anything there. That might be that little thing. That would have been very hard to open. And I think that was one side, and then, yeah, see? Yeah. No, there wasn't any way he was going to get out of there. Because like we saw on the outside, nope. That's okay. What I was wanting to do is see if they get to the upstairs. Okay. Oh, there's another. Yeah. Look at that. That's Sarah. That's not looking good for you. That looks very bad. Okay, there's another shot. Yep, see? And then imagine, I guess he did have, so imagine his poor fingers being smashed. I suppose when the medical examiner speaks, we'll get a better idea of that. But, okay, let me see if I can find the bedroom. Yeah, before we go to the bedroom, look at these stairs. Would he really still been able to even talk going, Sarah, after? That's a pretty, looks like a pretty steep flight of stairs. And then, like I said, there's not any space at the end. She had to have moved it. I don't know. Y'all have to tell me what you think. This is some crazy stuff, guys. Okay. So here is Sarah's bedroom. This is my question. It may be because she's so tidy, but I'm thinking, like, if she came upstairs and fell asleep or passed out or whatever, and then she got up and then started looking for George. Of course, it seems like maybe she was kind of just taking her time, but I'm thinking, would her bed be made? I'm thinking, you know, I guess I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because everything else does look very tidy and organized, really, that she made the bed. But I'm just wondering, like, if she were, I mean, she was obviously intoxicated. Would the bed be made or not? Who knows? That was just something I thought about. It just kind of went through my mind. Oh my God, but there are no pillows. Okay, we got to talk about Mr. Beck now, who questioned this poor young lady. I didn't even know that's the third chair attorney. He came out, and all of a sudden I'm like, who is this talking? And with the holes in the walls and the bloody pillows. And I'm like, there are no pillows. Are there bloody pillows anywhere? But I don't think they found it. But I was like, that came out of left field. Did y'all think that? Okay, let's talk about Mr. Beck for a minute. In fact, we might just replay a little bit of this. So she's already shown the suitcase, and she's back in her seat and all that kind of stuff. And Mr. Cacciatore was asking her, how difficult was it for you to, unzipping, I think she said it was very difficult.
I have no additional questions at this time.
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
Okay, yeah, let's listen to Mr. Beck for a minute, because I got some things to say about him. I was like, what?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you also referred to as a medical examiner or investigator as opposed to just crime scene investigator?
No, that is not my title.
Do you do reports that the medical examiner necessarily relies upon in the process of doing the autopsy and additional investigations?
You would have to ask them.
Who makes the decision at the scene as to what items will be photographed and what items will be taken into custody, what items will necessarily be tested or analyzed?
That's a collaborative effort between the crime scene investigator and the lead detective while on scene.
Okay, sorry, I got to move it better to where you can see the poor witness. Okay, may not be at the exact place, but at least this isn't a very long questioning. I just thought it was bizarre, and he was kind of like, I don't know, he seemed a little gruff, but.
Of Sarah Boone's mouth.
Her buccal swabs were submitted to the FDLE.
And who made that decision?
The detective and I.
Who made the decision not to bother to do a DNA analysis on the blood from the items within the suitcase or the suitcase itself?
I can already answer that. Come on now. We already know that that's George's blood. They said there was blood on his, coming out of his mouth. There was blood, I think, coming out of his nose. And And as we all recall, she took photographs of Sarah, and Sarah did not have anything on her. That's what's going to make it a little bit harder. You know, if he had done something to her and she had some sort of injury, of course, I'm saying I know that there are photos of her with black eyes and the steak knife in the leg, all that kind of stuff. So I know that could be possible. But on that night, there was nothing on Sarah, and she has the photos, and she also continuously told the detectives that during the interrogation in which she allegedly felt threatened in. So I don't know why he's asking this.
That was a discussion between the detective and I.
And you chose not to do that.
No, we did not.
You assumed that the blood inside the suitcase belonged to George Torres, correct?
There was blood observed in the suitcase.
But you don't know who that belonged to because you didn't bother to analyze it or have it analyzed, correct?
The blood was not tested.
Now, State's Exhibit B, the bat. You took that into evidence. Was that again a collaborative decision by yourself and the lead detective?
Yes.
And what efforts did you make to have the bat analyzed, given the fact that it was apparently evidence?
It was just collected as evidence from the scene.
Did you advise either the lead detective or anybody else involved with this investigation that there may be matters that could be analyzed when analyzing the bat that would help or assist in the investigation of this matter?
It's my job to do the documentation and the collection of
I was going to say, she's there to collect the information, take the photographs. He's asking her things that he, in my opinion, of course, I'm no expert, just somebody with an opinion.
evidence.
Well, you said it was a collaborative effort between yourself and the lead detective, so did you participate in that decision?
We chose to collect the bat and put it into evidence.
And so there was a fiber analysis done on the bat to determine whether or not it was used to strike George Torres when he was in the suitcase, was there not?
Pardon?
In fact, there was not, was it? There was no effort to analyze
Whoa, man.
the bat.
I'm going to object. I don't
He didn't even let her answer the question. See it? I don't like. Now, I told you in the other one I did not like his tone, and I don't like it now.
believe the witness had an opportunity to answer the question.
Sustained. I'm sorry. Please,
Can you repeat the question?
if I can remember it, I will.
Yeah, I bet you can, because you're as ill prepared as the rest of your buddies over there, Mr. Beck.
Do you know that there was any effort made in this particular investigation, the investigation of Sarah Boone, to analyze the bat for fibers?
No, there was not.
And why was that not done?
It was not done.
You indicated that you had some interaction with Ms. Boone, is that correct?
I collected her buccal swabs.
Did you speak with her?
In collecting her buccal swabs, yes.
Did you speak to any other witnesses?
No.
Did you make any determination of other matters that might be of import or evidentiary value when you were going through the house and taking photographs and documenting the interior of the townhouse?
You'll have to be more specific.
Well, how many pictures of the child's bedroom did we see?
Here today,
Yes, ma'am.
we saw the entrance to the bedroom as well as a photograph of the interior of the bedroom.
What was the evidentiary value of that?
It's my job to photograph and document while on scene, so
I'm thinking because probably, I'm just guessing, of course, I don't know her job, but they probably have to take photos of every single room in the house, even, even if nothing occurred in there. That's just my guess. If y'all know something better, let me know.
the rooms in the upstairs were photographed and documented.
Did you photograph holes in the wall?
Okay. See, where did this come from? What holes in the wall? I'm sure if there were holes in the wall, they would have noticed it. I don't know why. His whole little spiel there, I was just like, you're not, I mean, Maybe Sarah said there were holes in the wall, but I think they would have probably found them. And then, of course, we're going to get to the bloody pillows, or where the bloody pillowcases. How did he say it? We'll let him say it for himself.
Possibly made by the victim.
Oh, okay.
I don't recall photographing holes in the wall, no.
Did you take photographs of items within the house or throughout the house that may have depicted incidents of prior violence?
You'll have to be more specific.
How about bloody pillowcases? Did you make any effort to collect and analyze pillowcases of the room?
Bloody pillowcases. But now, I hate to say it, now I'm wondering though, where are the pillows in Sarah's room? But you know, what's funny is the pillowcase, did Sarah say something to him? Who knows? But let's face it, the only blood we're going to see, unless it's prior blood, and I think Sarah is too tidy. Maybe she has photographs of, maybe we'll find photographs of bloody pillowcases on her cell phone in which they extracted the information. But I was just like, where is this coming from? I mean, sometimes when it's odd stuff, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's something Sarah knew or something Sarah said, but I'm just like, but now we have to ask, where are the pillows? Where are the pillowcases? And of course, now, hopefully very soon, we're going to get, I hope I didn't miss the part, what I will now call is Zippergate, because I thought her answer was beautiful to Mr. Beck, which I thought it was a very stupid question.
Rooms that you were photographing?
No.
Who made this? You have significant experience with zippers?
No, okay. I can't look at her. Bless her heart. She is so even, so calm, and just has such a, I think, an amazing disposition to be in this kind of job, seeing all of this kind of stuff, having to deal with Sarah. God bless all of us.
I use zippers regularly, yes.
I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. Look at her expression. She's probably like, what the hell is he asking me? And that's why I have to kind of take away, because the suitcase thing really did bug me. So I'm just trying to find moments that I think are humorous during this horrendous situation, but we'll let them finish.
Enough to have an opinion as to whether or not a zipper is stuck or not.
Is what? Sorry?
You testified on direct that the zipper was a little tight.
Just that it was difficult without the zipper pulls to use the zipper.
Makes sense.
What's your opinion?
Yes, from opening the suitcase here today.
Today? You only tested it today?
Oh my gosh.
You only today have for the first time tested the ability to pull open the zipper on the suitcase?
No, I'm saying it was difficult today.
Yeah.
A redirect examination.
I would think you should be done by now. I just thought it was hysterical. And there were some other things from other people that I thought was hilarious too. But I kind of wanted to end it on a funnier note. This video trying to make it a little bit, because it's like, I don't know, seeing all that stuff was so surreal. But y'all tell me what you think down there. What I'm going to try to do is recap some of the moments I thought were interesting during the trial, and even maybe in the motions hearing, which held up the process. But at this point, this will end my coverage of the trial, which I think it said there's 7 and something hours. Of course, a lot of it could be ads, and there's blank area, where they've gone to lunch or whatever that. But anyhow, there's that. Anyhow, okay. Yeah, that man got me all riled. Mr. Beck got me all riled up about the bloody pillowcases and the fibers in the bat and the zipper. But I thought she answered it beautifully. So she is definitely one of my favorite witnesses. So, again, if you're new here, I hope you find this a warm and welcoming place. Very, very low-key here. I try to use a sense of humor, but I do try to study the best I can and give you all the best information that I can and add a little humor because we need that in our lives. So I will close by saying thank you all so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you all, each and every one of you. If you find that you like it here and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. And we will continue on. I will just tell you right now, I can't tell you how it's going to be. I lucked out Friday because we didn't have school. We will be back in school tomorrow. So I'll have to figure out how I may have to do something different, like maybe just, I already probably said this. If I did, just forgive my being redundant. But I might have to just look through the trial for that day and maybe pick out highlights, and then of course put down below the link to where you can watch the complete trial and without commentary if that's what you prefer. And of course other people, if you're home during the day, many people will be streaming it. So right now, Sarah Boone is every freaking where. And I really do have a lot to say about her too. So hopefully I will be able to get another video up. Okay, so before I close this court day out, I think I cut out just a minute too soon before they went to lunch because let me play this. I'm not sure how I missed this. I probably just thought.
State, anything we need to address?
Not from the state.
Defense. All right, Ms. Boone, I just got a couple of inquiries of you, ma'am, before release. Are you satisfied with your attorneys so far throughout this trial?
Definitely.
And are you on board with the strategy that they've employed so far in this trial? Definitely. Thank you very much. We'll be in recess till 2 o'clock.
Definitely will knock me over with a feather. Well, okay, maybe he wanted to make sure he had that on record so that if she said she had ineffective counsel, he could say he asked her and she said, definitely. All right, well, okay. Okay, that's a wrap. And I did put it in, well, now I'm telling you at the very end, but I did put it in multiple sections just because I was not sure with our weird internet and everything how it was going to go, but I think everything will be good to go. And so I hope you found this educational, entertaining, and weird and horrifying. So sad to see that suitcase was so surreal. But Sarah, nope, she's just buzzing about. It's just how her brain works. Very interesting. Okay, well, that's it for now. Thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm just looking. I'm sorry, I had to stop for a minute because I wonder if that, if the deputy is going to, or does she get to sit there? No, she probably has to eat her lunch. I'm sorry, I'm being nosy. Anyhow, I'm so sorry, I digress. Again, thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. It doesn't cost a thing. If you don't want to, that's fine too. But I really do appreciate you all. I love you. Be kind to someone. Be kind to you. And I'll see you the next time.